At exactly 3 a.m., a sealed chamber beneath Giza was opened for the first time in over 4,000 years. What they found inside not only shook the archaeologists worldwide, but also the whole world. This is due to the symbols they found that match a mysterious code from our modern world. Subscribe now, because what you're about to hear might change everything we thought we knew about the pyramids and about time itself. The night of the opening. This discovery wasn't supposed to happen at night. The excavation team had apparently been working quietly for months on the western side of the Giza Plateau, away from tourists and especially from the cameras. This corridor is just 2 meters below the surface and has shown signs of something deeper beneath it, perfectly sealed while highly resistive to every radar signal. No one knew what it was. At first, some excavators thought it was rubble, while others thought it was just a burial shaft. But the truth? It turned out to be something stronger than what everyone was expecting. At 3 a.m., the sensors began to beep, and the section of the sand gave way, revealing the edge of a stone slab. This wasn't just any block. It was clearly a door. The seal showed no signs of looting, no cracks, and no air pass. This was completely untouched. When they drilled a small pinhole and inserted a micro camera, they expected nothing but dust. But what they saw instead were symbols that were glowing faintly in the beam. These incorporated intricate carvings across the ceiling and the floor, almost pulsing when light hit them. Everyone was silent for nearly a minute because the symbols were random hieroglyphs. Rather, they resembled binary code patterns, the rows of lines and dots carved with impossible precision. How is this possible? It's almost like someone thousands of years ago engraved data in here. To understand how we even got here, we have to take a trip back to memory lane. In May 2024, a joint Japanese-Egyptian research team was led by Professor Motoyuki Sato from Tohoku University. They used electrical resistivity tomography on a patch of sand near the Great Pyramid. It was a barren spot, with no visible ruins, no tombs, and nothing. But when they scanned it, it revealed something impossible. They found a 10-meter-long L-shaped corridor that was filled with sand after the construction. Beneath it was something even more eerie, a second anomaly, or a void, which was 10 meters deep. When the chamber was finally reached, the readings spiked, instruments malfunctioned, and any magnetic sensors began fluctuating as if the electromagnetic pulses were coming from below. As always, this wasn't just a regular stone, but there was something deep inside the chamber, emitting strong energy. What the team didn't realize was that this energy wasn't something random. When they analyzed it later, it formed a repeated pattern, more like a digital rhythm, something that matched the Fibonacci sequence that was found in both ancient art and modern computing. At this point, their mind was blown. The symbols. Inside the chamber, archaeologists found the walls covered in non-Egyptian symbols that were carved in geometric codes. There were circles, triangles, lines, all arranged in sequences that resembled modern algorithms. But as we humans are quite skeptical, even the researchers thought that it could be a coincidence. However, when the images were fed into a pattern recognition program at Kyoto University, something started cooking. The algorithm detected logical repetition and syntax, which is basically the structure of the code. This code was written on a stone 4,500 years ago. And here's where it gets strange. Parts of the code, when translated through binary conversion, resemble ASCII data. This is the same standard that our computers use to interpret digital text. One of the particular sequences reads a code which translates to "is time." This was no coincidence, but what could it actually mean? Egyptologists were divided at this point. Most of them thought of it as a puke, basically patterns misread by technology, which is possible in many cases. People like Dr. Reham Abdul Karim, however, argued that the carvings represent a builder's language. According to him, this was symbolic communication, designed to preserve knowledge across different millennia. Her team noticed something more interesting. The layout of the chamber mirrors the golden ratio, which is used in both pyramid construction and modern design. Every angle, every wall distance, and everything aligns with mathematical constants, like pi, phi, and even the Fibonacci spirals. It seems like the builders encoded universal laws of mathematics into the chamber itself, expecting that future civilizations, like ours, would ultimately recognize them. To make things interesting, they did something else too. On one wall, faintly etched beneath centuries of dust, was a depiction of not gods or kings, but of a device. This was a circular disc surrounded by lines, emitting rays towards the sky. To ancient eyes, it might have symbolized the sun, but to the proportions, the engraving, the concentric lines, they looked very similar to a circular board. What happens next is incredible, and if you'd enjoy the video so far, Subscribe to our channel. When scientists ran a spectral scan of the carvings, they discovered traces of a metallic residue that was embedded in a stone. It was a copper-silicon compound that doesn't even occur naturally in Egypt. The compound was then tested. Once tested, it conducted electricity. Now, this shouldn't be possible for anything built thousands of years ago, but it suggests something revolutionary. And that is, the chamber wasn't just symbolic, it may have been active at some point. The carvings, arranged like a circuit, could have once been a functional design. Some even claim it could be part of an ancient energy system. Similar patterns also appear in other ancient sites like Abydos, Saqqara, and even Peru's Sacsayhuaman. You might be wondering, what connects these? The answer is geometry, symmetry, and magnetism. Dr. Khalid Mansour, a physicist working with the Cairo Institute of Antiquities, believes the chamber may have functioned as a resonance cavity. Basically, it is a space designed to run through vibrational energy. He even compared its dimensions with the modern frequency harmonics, and found that there's a perfect match with 432 hertzes, the same frequency that is believed to align with the Earth's natural vibration. But it's true. The symbols on the wall weren't just writing, they could be schematics. This could be a blueprint for modern humans, for sound-based energy or communication. And of all the things we've addressed, now to the most important part. What was the 3 a.m. connection? The 3 a.m. connection. So, why did the seal open exactly at that time? Local workers claimed that minutes before the slab moved, their equipment flickered. Some heard what they described as a low humming sound from the sound itself. It was almost like the Earth was vibrating, and when the slab finally shifted, the instruments registered a short electromagnetic burst, lasting exactly 3.14 seconds. Pi, the universal constant of circles. Is it a coincidence? We think not. Later analysis showed that the timing of the energy spike corresponded to solar wind fluctuations detected by the satellite at that exact hour. Somehow, the chamber that was residing below Giza reacted to cosmic energy. It was almost like it was set up. The ancient builders might have known something about cosmic cycles that we're now only rediscovering, right? Symbols and today's code. After this discovery went public, programmers across the world began analyzing the decoded patterns online. What they found was quite interesting. The sequence carved into the chamber walls matched the core encryption key of a recently launched quantum algorithm. This algorithm didn't exist until 2023. Just think about it. A code written in stone 4,500 years ago now mirrors a mathematical encryption key designed by modern AI. Could this be a coincidence? Possible, but the odds are quite low. Could it be a prediction? Maybe. Or could it mean that knowledge itself is cyclical, like it repeats, and is rediscovered by humanity again and again? Each time we rise from the sand, we rediscover the same knowledge, which means that knowledge flows in perfect circles. As the chamber's interior was scanned in 3D, another amazing thing came to light. Underneath the central wall, there was a tablet, a stone slab that was etched with even deeper symbols. The translation spooked everyone as it said, "Those who hear the code, awaken the sun within." Some interpret it metaphorically, saying that it could simply mean seeking enlightenment. Others believe that it might be some hidden mechanism, possibly triggered by either light or sound. When infrared scans were done, they confirmed that there was this strange thermal activity behind the tablet, a hollow cavity that was no larger than a hand. So far, Egyptian authorities have stopped the digging, citing many safety concerns, but insiders leaked that the cavity contains a small metallic object, about the size of a coin, that is also engraved with a spiral identical to the one that is seen on modern data drives. The spiral, when digitally mapped, produced a 3D waveform that is identical to the Schumann resonance, the electromagnetic pulse that surrounds Earth. After a few of these inventions were done, theories exploded everywhere. Some claimed that it proved that the ancients had a protoform of artificial intelligence, a system of storing universal constants through geometry and vibration. Others saw it as evidence that humanity had reached a forgotten technological peak, later wiped out by time. But there's a simpler and perhaps even better explanation for all this. The builders of Giza might have understood that the universe itself speaks in math. This is because math itself is the purest form of communication between civilizations. That's why the symbols match today's code, not simply because we predicted it, but because the truth is constant across time. Numbers and maths don't belong to us. They belong to the universe and reality itself. Still, what chills researchers the most is the final inscription that was found near the chamber's exit. This inscription said, "We buried our knowledge until the code returns." And now, it finally has. But you want to know the most interesting part of this video? For centuries, Egyptian mythology spoke of the Vault of Thoth, a hidden chamber containing the knowledge of the gods. This would be sealed until humanity was ready to understand it. However, most dismissed it as a legend. But when the sealed Giza chamber opened and the light revealed thousands of precise mathematical carvings, scholars just couldn't ignore so many of the parallels. The code that we saw matches everything that the legend promised. Hidden wisdom, preserved for the future, accessible only when the symbols are understood. And maybe that's exactly what happened. The code today matches everything that the legend promised. Hidden wisdom, preserved for the future, accessible only when the symbols are understood. And maybe that is exactly what happened. We built machines that are capable of recognizing the patterns. When the same machines looked at the ancient walls, they understood what our limited human eyes couldn't. Whatever the truth is, the moment the sealed chamber under Giza opened at 3 a.m., history was revealed in the most shocking way. What do you think this actually reveals? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe, share, and stay curious, as this story has just begun.